Hi guys, I'm Karina and I'm getting ready to pack for my next trip, so I thought I would take you guys through the process. So yeah, it's officially summer, the weather's warming up, and we're all heading to Europe, right? So I'm getting ready to go on a trip with AF Ultimate Break to Croatia for almost 2 weeks, and I cannot wait. So on shorter to medium length trips, it's easier to pack like a capsule style wardrobe and a carry-on, which is what I'm going to go for during this trip. So one of the things I really like to do is try and mix and match my clothing items so they kind of all fit to one color scheme. So I'm sticking to neutrals and like bright whites, tans, very earth tone style colors throughout this trip. And this will actually be my first trip with my new away suitcase that I'm super excited about. It has so many features like the lock that's TSA approved on top and a hidden laundry bag, which I cannot wait to try out. So this is going to be really fun. My first recommendation would be to get a fanny pack or a small money carrying bag to take with you through the airport and when you're walking in the cities and everything. That way you don't have to worry about very important stuff is like your passport, your wallet, any identification that you might need. So I really like this one because it has the small side pocket and the bigger side pocket, and that way I can fit all of my belongings in here. Anything that is a liquid that is smaller. I like to keep my sunscreen and my hand sanitizer in here so it's quick and easy to grab when I'm heading outside of the airport into the city. And I also like to keep my RFID protected wallet that I take with me when I'm traveling. So here's a list of what I will be packing in my carry-on suitcase that are part of my capsule wardrobe for this trip. So I'm starting off with 2 pairs of pants. One of these I will probably wear through the airport just because I think that's more comfortable on planes in general, and it's just takes some of the weight out of my suitcase. I'm also bringing 2 skirts. One of these is a bathing suit cover-up as well, so I like to bring pieces that are not only cute but also functional and comfortable. I'll be bringing 1 pair of active shorts and 2 pairs of regular jean shorts. I think it's good to always bring like an active style outfit with you when traveling in case you do any hiking or kayaking, fun activities that might require a little bit more range of movement. I'm also bringing 2 t-shirts. I think it's a good idea to bring at least 1 t-shirt when traveling to Europe during the summer. I know it gets really hot with the temperatures, but sometimes you want to cover your shoulders, especially if you got really burned the day before, speaking from past experience. So moving on from there, I'm bringing 2 going out style tops. I think it's easier to pack more items during the summer because they're usually more lightweight, shorter, take up less space in your suitcase in general. So I kind of just throw some things in there if I feel like it. And then I'm also bringing 6 tank tops, which sounds like a lot, but yes, they do fold up to a small space. And I follow the Marie Kondo kind of method of folding, which has actually helped me a lot. And with those, I'm bringing 3 dresses. So 2 of these are lightweight kind of city dresses that I can just wear when we're walking through the towns and everything. One of these is more of like a going out style dress that I would wear to bars or parties in the evening. And after that, I'm going to be bringing a lot of bathing suits and beach items in general because, like I said, this is a cruise tour, which is going to be really interesting. It's called Cruise Croatia. So we're spending a couple days in Split before we take off from there on our cruise, and we're going to 5 different islands throughout Croatia, I think, and that it's really helpful to kind of have your stuff on a cruise because that way you're not moving your suitcase around every day. You can kind of unpack and get comfortable, but also I know that space is going to be limited, so I'm focusing on keeping my item list small. So I'm bringing a 1 piece and 4 bikinis, which yes, sounds like a lot, but some of them are interchangeable and I can kind of mix and match. And I might even take it down from there. I usually like to revise my list after I've packed everything just to see how much it weighs, and then if I need to take anything out, I can kind of work from there. I'm also bringing 2 beach towels. One is a Turkish cotton style towel, so it reflects all the sand gets out of the way, which is nice. It's also bigger and I can lie out on it on the beach. The other is my EF Ultimate Break cotton microfiber towel, and I love this one because it dries off fast, which is nice, but it's also very comfortable, and I can use this as a pillow on the plane too if I need. And because this is a warm weather trip, I will be bringing lots of sandals with me. So I have this really cute pair that I got in Sorrento last year that are really comfortable for walking, and I can even wear them in the evening because they're a little bit dressier, which is nice. I'll also be bringing about 2 pairs of other sandals, so my Tevas, which also work as water shoes, which are great. And other than sandals, I'll probably bring 2 pairs of tennis shoes. So one will probably be an older pair that I can use for activities like hiking or ATVing, kayaking, anything that's on the itinerary that's a little bit more rough and dirty. And the other pair are a little bit nicer, so I can wear them on city tours and in the evenings too if I need to, but I'll most likely wear them through the airport as well because they're very comfortable. So besides all that, bras and underwear, obviously that's a no-brainer. I usually pack those in a smaller flexible packing cube like these, and I can actually get them down small enough that I can fit them in my personal item just to make sure I have them with me. There's no chance of losing them. I use packing cubes as well for all the other items in my suitcase. I like to pack them by section, so bathing suits, tops, pants, that kind of thing. Helps so much with organization and just making sure everything fits in the suitcase as well. With that, I don't like to take too much more in my carry-on itself because I get worried about losing things and transfers and just having all my important personal items on me, so those I will put in my personal item. For my personal item, I'll be using this Capsule backpack that every European seems to own from Decathlon, which is a European store, like Sports Authority, if it was still around. And it's really nice because it has this big front pocket, which is also easily zipped up, and it has a water bottle pocket on the side, which is great. Bigger pocket with what I use for my laptop if I'm bringing it with me, like a laptop sleeve, and this tiny pocket up here where I can put really sensitive information if I need, like my passport or cash if I'm taking it with me and want to keep it on my body. So I'll probably use this to pack my camera stuff, my toiletries, and my liquids so that it's easily accessible. Once I get to the airport, I could just whip them out and then put them right back in. And because I want to film as much content as possible on this trip, I'll be bringing my tripod and my camera with me, so those will be going in my personal item because they're also a little bit heavier and they don't weigh the personal item typically, so I can get away with maybe bringing a few more things. I also think it's a good idea to have at least one sun hat on these types of trips because the sun is really bright and harsh in the summer, and it gets up to 30 degrees, 40 degrees Celsius sometimes in the warmer months. So I definitely want to bring something that protects my head, but it's also nice to use as shade coverage and stuff like that when we're walking around in cities. One other thing that I think is really important to pack is some kind of like first aid kit that you can bring with you. So in this, I'm going to have plenty of Dramamine, which, man, I wish they would sponsor this video, just in case, because we're going to be on a boat for the majority of the trip. I don't know how the waves are going to be. Hopefully pretty calm most of the time, but just in case, it's always good to have with you. I have headache medicine, I have extra sunscreen, I have Imodium, bandages, alcoholic wipes, anything else that might be helpful on these types of trips, but just to have in general. One other thing I like to bring in my little first aid kit is a Tide pen, just in case any stains happen throughout the trip, especially since I'm bringing so many light colored items on this trip. You know, can't be too careful. And these little sachets of like detergent in case there's a chance to do laundry while we're on the trip. And especially since we'll be sweating a lot, I think this is really helpful to have just in case. A couple more things that are very useful to have with you if you're traveling anywhere, especially by yourself. Copies of your passport and ID or any other information like your hotel details, your airline details are always good to have with you, as well as earplugs in case you're staying with other people. In this case, I think I might have 1 or 2 more people staying with me in the same room, and so I always find that earplugs help me sleep sound no matter what. Especially I've heard on the cruises we typically leave around 6-7 in the morning to start our journey to the next island, and the boat starting up in the morning can be a little loud, so just something to remember in case you're a light sleeper. So how I like to choose my wardrobe is I'll typically look on Pinterest to get some inspiration about a month or so before my trip. That way I can start getting excited about it and kind of pick out what items from my closet I think will fit the capsule wardrobe that I'm going for. If not, I may try and go find some new items at the store or even like thrift some at the local thrift store. Goodwill is always my go-to option. And then I will pack them in my suitcase a couple days before the trip just to see everything laid out, and if I'm missing anything, that way I can kind of go back and add it in later. And then the day before my trip, I like to whip out my checklist on iPhone. I just use the Notes app to create a checklist, and I go down through every category of what I need. So I have my camera and my chargers, my adapters, which are also really important because we're going to Europe. You will need the round plug adapters, and I have a couple, some that I've even bought from like the European iPhone case stores, because that way you have the quick charging plug, which is always helpful when I'm creating content like this and it drains my battery all day. So I bring that. This is usually something I don't think about until the last minute, and I'm packing the night before. I'm like, oh yeah, I need something to wear when I'm asleep. So pajamas are very important. And that's why the checklist is so handy, because you can make sure that any items you think you've forgotten, you can check off as you're adding them into the suitcase. And I don't like to check them off until they are physically in my bag or in my personal item. That way I can see them there and I don't have to worry about forgetting them at home. But yeah, I think that's basically it for this trip. If I've forgotten anything, I will add it in the comments. And if you're interested in going on trips with EF Ultimate Break, I am an ambassador for them, so you get $100 off your first trip with them with the link that I'll add in the description. And if you're interested to see how my trip goes, I'll also be posting a vlog of that after. And so keep an eye out for that and subscribe for more information.